Good morning, Riverhawks. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Ava. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Face the flag, put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated.
Let's send it over to Ava to see what's happening in This Week in History.
Welcome back to This Week in History. I'm Ava, and let's see what happened in this wonderful week. On November 7th, 1867, groundbreaking scientist Marie Curie was born. She was the first woman to win the Nobel Prize, and the only person, man or woman, to win it in two different fields. On November 8th, 1972, the American television network HBO launched. Since then, they have been consistently putting out amazing shows that have changed the way we watch TV. Let's take it back to 1983. A man releases a glimpse of the future. On November 10th, Bill Gates announced the first look at the Windows operating system. And now the majority of electronic devices run on this easy-to-use software. Finally, on November 12th, 1995, the Air Agreement was signed, and the Croatian War of Independence was won, in Croatia's favor. Well, that's all for today. See you next time on This Week in History. Now back to the studio.
Now let's send it over to Character Dare.
Hey Riverhawks, it's Jenny.
And Esther, and welcome back to Character Dare. This week's dare, we want you to take some time off and relieve yourself of some pressure you may be feeling during school. There are many ways that you can relieve pressure, physically and mentally. A lot of times, pressure can come from setting too high expectations or listening to other people's opinions too much.
Sometimes we worry too much about what other people think, what other people say about us, or getting validation from others. If you use too much time and energy to focus on these three things, you may be heading down a pretty harmful road. The thing is, most people aren't thinking about you, what you do, or your problems, as much as you may fear. Instead, they're thinking about their own problems and life choices.
An important part of this is to not see yourself through the eyes of others. This can build a self-image with expectations that become very hard to live up to. It can make you end up with lots of negative feelings, and that won't help anyone. If you really think about it, you don't really know what people think about you anyway. Your worries about what people may think about you are most likely just in your head.
Another thing you should keep in mind when you're trying to relieve some stress or pressure is to forget about perfectionism. It's just you putting unnecessary pressure on yourself and thereby reducing your ability to do excellent work. Forget about being perfect and start focusing on the process, not the outcome. In reality, no one will ever be perfect.
By focusing on your work and detaching yourself from possible outcomes makes it easier to both live and live up to your potential. The world won't collapse if you make mistakes or fail. You have to work on your skills to sharpen them. See failure or rejection not as something negative that might end your life if it strikes.
Redefine it in your mind to lessen the negative emotional impact and the fear. See failure simply as constructive criticism on what you need to improve on. Realize you have a choice about what attitude you should adopt, just like with what you choose to do or not do.
Take the time you need, and if you can't do it in the time you have, then you can't. Putting additional stress on yourself isn't going to help. It may actually hurt. Focus on what you can get done and what you can control. That's all for this week's Character Dare. Now back to the studio.
Let's see what ASB has planned in this week's announcement, including an update on house points.
Hey, next week, ASB will be hosting a Thanksgiving food drive. It will take place from November 8th to the 12th, and all items can be taken to the stage during brunch or lunch. We will be accepting items such as any non-perishable canned goods and healthy packaged snacks. For more information, email eng@hartdistrict.org. Thanks, Riverhawks.
Hey Riverhawks, this is Rio ASB reporting the current house standings. These results are based on the points student earned for their houses. In 8th place is House Phoenix. In 7th place is House Pegasus. In 6th place is House Griffin. In 5th place is House Gnomes. In 4th place is House Sphinx. And now for the 3 houses in the lead. In 3rd place is House Yeti. In 2nd place is House Kraken. And that means we have House Dragon in 1st place. Congratulations, House Dragon. We'll be back next week to give you all an update. Go Riverhawks!
Today in Clubs and Activities, the video club will be meeting at lunch in room D12.
Do you have a suggestion for a future question of the week? Go to RioTV.org and at the top you'll find the Question of the Week tab. Click the link and share your great ideas with us.
Here's your daily dose of positivity. We must be willing to let go of the life we planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us. Joseph Campbell.
That's it for today. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Ava.
And we'll see you next time on RioTV.